We're at AQS Quilt Week in Paducah, and I'm here with another one of our winners, Andra Petrocelli. Entered her quilt in the Large Quilt Stationary Machine Quilted, sponsored by Husqvarna Viking. And you won a blue ribbon.
Yes, I did.
My goodness.
Yes.
This is an amazing quilt.
Thank you.
First thing, everybody wants to know how many pieces are in this quilt.
There's a total piece count of 226,576 pieces.
Well, and then when you break it down into a square that's an inch and a half.
Yes.
Okay. And how many different pieces are in 1 inch and a half square?
There's 49 pieces, including the little black border.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So, all right, so I can see myself trying to make all these little squares and trying to put it on a design wall. How did you do it?
I did everything on graph paper before. So I sketched out how I wanted it to be graded and took the square on square and just played with the light and dark within the square on square pattern. And I did everything on graph paper first, as far as the value.
Wow. So did you just start in one corner and make squares and start to put it together, or did you start in the middle?
No, I did all, there's 4,624 squares. I did all of those, and then I just went according to my graph paper chart.
To put them together.
And I separated it into 25 different quadrants, so I wouldn't have a hard seam at the center. And I just pieced those all together.
Wow.
Just made big blocks and just kept putting the blocks together.
It's an amazing quilt.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The next question is, you change from light to a little darker to a little darker in color value?
Yes.
How did you do that?
There's 176 different colors within the finished quilt. So I chose all those colors specifically according to their value. So I chose the colors, separated them all, and then made them into blocks.
And so did you know before you started sewing how much fabric you needed of each of those colors?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, everything was meticulously planned before I began sewing the first stitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, then the next question is, how long did that all take?
A little over 6,000 hours.
6,000 hours. That's 3 years.
Yeah.
3 working years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sewing it all together. And so you did it in sections.
Yes, in 25 different sections.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then next comes putting the batting in and the backing, and how did you quilt it?
It's quilted in the ditch with a walking foot and just a straight line. Yeah, and only going vertically. Yeah, it's very stiff and it weighs 33 pounds.
Well,
so it's very
I
hard
want to know how you manipulated. You know, I rolled this quilt at our last show, and I know it took 3 of us, 2 of us rolling, and 1 to help lift it on the table so that we could roll the next section.
Yeah.
That I can't even imagine quilting this piece.
So I have photograph suspension bars that I bungee cord it to take up some of the weight, and then I would just push it through.
And let your machine pull it through.
Yes. Yeah, with the walking foot, just go slow and patient.
You earned this blue ribbon.
Thank you. It's so pretty.
I'm amazed at how you created the light and dark. And now you have a sample here. Show us what you did.
This is my last practice piece before I started on the big one. So this is an exact replica, you know, of 16 squares of what this is. So I just let people so they can touch it and feel it and squish it and see how dense it is and heavy.
It is a very heavy quilt.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that you will enter a quilt, and you don't have to make 226,000 pieces in it, but we hope that you'll enter a quilt in AQS Quilt Week, and you can do that all at AmericanQuilter.com, and we hope we'll see an entry from you sometime soon.